welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Arlo Essential Pan and Tilt 2K camera. This is Arlo's first ever pan and tilt camera. I'm going to be doing everything in one video: the unboxing, the setup on the app, the installation, and the overall review. I'm also going to be going into depth on how to use the manual pan and zoom from the app. Alright, so let's go ahead and unbox it. Alright. Okay. Move that away. So here's the camera. We got the speaker. We got the status LED. We got the ambient light sensor. We got the camera lens. We got the spotlight. We got the microphone. And on top we got the pairing button. And of course, when you mount it, this is where you slide it on. Alright, so that's the camera. Let's see what else is in the box. The usual stuff. So this is not wireless. This is plug-in. So we got the USB-C plug-in. It plugs into an outlet, and as you can see, and as it should be, the charging cable is really long. There you go. What is this? This is the safety and compliance information. This is the quick start guide. The mounting screws and anchors. Alright, so let me talk about this a little bit in more depth. Alright, so mounting screws and anchors, of course. And this right here is the ceiling mount. If you're going to mount the camera to the ceiling, since it's a pan and tilt. And last but not least, we have the plastic L-shaped bracket. And when you mount it, of course, you're going to mount it like this, up against the wall, and then you're going to slide the camera on. Hey guys. So now we're going to set this up. So I got this set up in a way to where you can easily see my phone for when I'm connecting the camera. I'm going to take you through the app and show you that. And I also have the camera, I'm going to plug it in before I start, of course, because it needs to be plugged in. And then I also have it connected to the L bracket mount to where you can see how the camera functions when it's turned on and also when it's connected using the app. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing in right now. Okay, so I got it plugged in, and you see the blue status light is on. Alright, so I'm going to start. Okay, so, all right, you can see the camera coming on and doing its thing. It's tilt. You can see kind of how it moves. So just from doing that, it positions to where I have easy access to that button on the top, the pairing button. So I'm in the app. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus sign up at the top and add a device. All right, so of course I'm going to go to pan and tilt cameras right here. And then of course it's the situation. We have the outdoor version. So I'm going to select that. And then of course it has to load. So all right, so it did this little auto calibration before the setup. And we already seen that. So it's just showing a little video of that. All right, so that's already happened. So we're going to hit continue. All right, so of course it's a situation where it's Bluetooth has to be on. So that's a gimme. All right, so allow the Arlo to find and connect and to Bluetooth pretty much. And I'm going to allow it. So now it's asking me to press and hold the pairing button for 3 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. One, two, three. All right, so you might not be able to see this, but we got the blinking blue light like we normally do. You can see there's a blinking blue light, and hit continue. Okay, so it detected it, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Oh, okay guys. So this kind of sucks. What do you guys not notice? So, if you guys have been watching me for any length of time, I have a smart hub. So apparently, and I'll double check this, this is not compatible with the smart hub, which sucks, which means to be able to use this, you got to have a subscription. So Arlo's pretty much making the same mistake as they did with the second generation camera when that first came out. It didn't come ready to be compatible with the smart hub, which sucks. So that's definitely a con that's probably going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to the Wi-Fi real quick. And of course, as you know, it prompts you for a Wi-Fi password. So I'm just going to enter mine. Of course, I'm doing it off screen. Okay, so it's added. Alright, so as you can see the generic name that it gives us, I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And it's checking for updates. Yeah, so we'll just let it do its update thing. And it gives us the option, you can hit this button right here to have the app updated in the background, because I guess this can take some time. But that's fine since it's an instructional video. So you can see that it's updating the alternating blinking lights between the amber and the blue light. And pretty much that's what it says down here. Alright, so it's restarting the device. And depending on how long this takes, I might have to cut out some of this. Hopefully it won't take too long. I mean, it's almost done. You can see the status bar right there. Okay. Firmware has been updated. I'll hit continue. Alright, great. We got a strong signal. So it gives you the same stuff, you know, make sure it has a strong signal before you mount it. And that's obvious, and I have a strong signal. So I'm going to hit continue. And we're going to do this next. Gives you instructions on how to mount it, whether it's mounted to a wall or whether it's mounting to the ceiling. Of course, I'm going to mount it using the L bracket, so essentially mounted to the wall. So I'll just run through that real quick. It just gives you, talks about the best coverage. I hit continue. And this is cool right here. It shows you how to do it in the app. And I'll go ahead and hit continue. Drill the holes and such. Yeah, I'll show you that later. Yep, and continue. Yep, and continue. Alright, signal strong. And then you can hear the echo. You can see that it's connected. Echo in my voice. Oh, there we go. There it is. All right. So we're finished. Okay, so I'm going to go into live mode and I'm going to show you how to manually use the pan and tilt. So I'm connected in the live mode right now. So alright, so I'm in live mode. There you go. So you can see that. I'm going to press down. So that moves the camera down. Go to the side. You can see it moving to the side. And then go to the other side. Yep. And then up. There you go. And then down. So this is live, and it's, of course there's a little bit of a delay. So I'm just panning over. Alright, so now you know how you can manually use the pan and tilt when you're looking at a live stream. Guys, so I want to explain to you how this L mount is orientated and kind of how it works when you're snapping in the camera. Alright, so you can see the arrow, and then on the top of the camera you can see the arrow. So you need to line those arrows up, and you're gonna basically push the camera forward to lock it in. So it kind of works like this. So you put them in the, you line this up. You see how I'm lining it up? So it's seated. Okay. So to lock it in, I'm just gonna pull the camera forward. So let's just suppose that this is the wall and I have it mounted. I need to line this little notch up right here. Okay. And then it snaps forward. So it's locked in. You see how the notches are lined up? And then that's how it sets. So that's kind of how it's orientated. I'm showing you that right now because it's going to be hard to show you when I actually mount it. So that's how that works. And if I want to take it off the mount, you just go the other direction, is you push back, right? And it comes off. So that's how that works. All right, so when you're running this cable, if you're going to run it from the top, you see it has plenty of room to fit in there. Okay, so that's how that works. But it's a little different when you're running it from the bottom. You want to run it through first. So run it through first if it's going through the bottom, right? Get it situated, and then start screwing in after you've drilled your holes. So that's how that works, right? All right, guys. I hope that kind of explained everything for you. Here are the tools you're going to need to mount this camera. You're going to need a drill, a 1/8 drill bit, a ballpoint pen, the mounting screws, a Phillips screwdriver, the camera, the L-shaped wall mount, and the power adapter with the charging cable, which is a USB-C. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to position the mount and mark the drill holes with a pen. So I have a leveler, but that leveler is optional. You don't necessarily need it. Alright, so I'm just marking the holes after I got it leveled off. Next I'm going to drill the holes. I got the holes drilled. Alright, so mine is coming through the bottom, so I'm going to run it through before I mount this. Alright, so I got my screws. And I got my Phillips. And I'll start screwing it in. Okay, so that's one screw. And I'll follow up with the next one. And I'm trying to get it as straight as I can. And I'm just snugging them up. Alright. So that's up there. So I'm going to get my leveler. Alright, that's about perfect right there. So I'm going to snug them up the rest of the way. Alright, so that's snug. And you can see that it's level. Alright, let me get the camera to install it. Pull this through enough. Pull the power cable through enough to plug it in. It's plugged in. Alright, let's line it up. That looks about even on the top. And then we just pull it forward. Alright, pulled it forward and you heard that snap. Alright, that looks good. The power cable is connected. So that little notch right there is lined up perfectly. So now I'm going to plug in the power. Alright, it's going to calibrate now because I got a blue light. All right, there we go. There's the calibration happening. And there you go. The camera's mounted. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to look at the quality of the video uh, that it captures. So this is the auto pan and tilt. This is me out in the front yard, kind of walking around. And as you can see, it's a cloudy day and the camera's pan and tilting, following me around. I'm throwing up my hands. So yeah, it's doing a pretty good job. So that's a good feature. So next, what we're going to do, we're going to look at a clip to where I did a little bit of manual pan and tilting with their little keypad or joystick. I'm just panning around back and forth. And the picture is good and clear. So overall, I think this is a fine pan and tilt camera. I really like the price point. And we'll see how it holds up over time. It's real easy to install, so that's a positive. And one last thing that I would like to say that I forgot to mention earlier is when adding this camera to your Wi-Fi, you can do it through 2.4 megahertz or 5.0 megahertz. So that's good. And that's a good improvement. I would say the big negative is, or con is, and I talked about it earlier, I think it's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people, is that you have no option to add a base station. And so, unfortunately, since you can't add this camera to the base station, if you want to save recordings, you're going to have a subscription. So that's not cool. So let's hope that they add the feature later on through an update or something. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and catch you later.